Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing great on this Monday evening. Yeah, I hope that the work week is off to a good start and all that good stuff. Hope you guys have been taking good care of your bodies and all that stuff with all the stuff going on with the flu and all these different things. So, yeah. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you like what you see here and decide to stick around and hit that subscribe button, that like button, all that good stuff to help support the channel and be in tune with the energy and be a part of this this little community, I guess we could say, that we're starting to build here. Hey Margaret, how are you? Happy Monday. And then for those of you who have already been rocking with your girl for a little bit, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. Greatly appreciate you guys. So without further ado, as you guys saw in the caption, this is a collective message. Okay, I should rewind. But yeah, it was in the caption too. This is a collective message about love, and it is also a debut of a new deck on this channel. I haven't used these yet on here, so I'm pretty excited about that. I always like to bring new energy on here. So I also have a little bit of an addiction when it comes to buying new decks. So whatever I can get my hands on and be like, oh, well, it's for the collective and it's for a good purpose. So I'm going to buy these cards. I always give myself an excuse. So I'm trying to wait for like some more people to come in. But, this time is always like a weird time, I feel like, when I go on around this time, because it's like it's a hit or a miss. Some people are, done getting settled in and they're, on here and stuff like that and wanting to watch and stuff like that. But other times it's like, barely anybody pops up. So we shall see what happens. But I don't want to keep those who are here, Margaret, waiting too long. So let's just get started. So Spirit, only let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good. When it comes to love, yeah. So let's get started. Let's split the deck. We have, okay. Oh, sorry. No, this is a love deck primarily, but there's also a little bit of financial advice and sprinkled throughout as well. So we have savings. It says anticipating needs prevents last minute scrambles. A financial cushion provides comfort during tough times. Interesting. So some of you guys might be really more so focusing on your finances right now more than anything. Making sure that your bag is secure, all that stuff. I can dig it. But let's see what Spirit has to say. Let's get a few from here, and then I have other decks over here as well to tap into to see what's going on based on the energy and stuff like that. I'm hoping we get like a new love kind of energy going on, but you never know. Sometimes exes pop up in readings, and it's like, oh, here we go again. Trying to get over that person or get rid of them. Why are they still showing up? But it does happen. They linger. They definitely linger. Hey, Max, how are you? Gonna do a couple more shuffles. And let's start getting some messages for the collective. Thank you, Spirit. No exit. Okay. Trapped in a situation with no exit or escape. Experiences a perpetual return to the same situations. Trapped in an infinite loop with no escape. Engages in a, what does that say, Sisyphine task. I guess that means like mundane, that never ends. So it's giving me, those of you who end up resonating with this message, you might feel like you're kind of in a loop, just kind of repeating patterns and cycles. I heard hamster wheel. You might just, it could be even work related. I know this is a love reading, but like this deck does touch up on money a little bit as well. So some of you guys might just feel like you just kind of have the same shit, different day kind of thing going on. Like every day is kind of the same thing. You're just hoping that things are going to be different from one day to the next. I'm getting something like that. Let me know if that resonates at all. Top of the deck, we have honor. The pursuit of honor has led to inflated stories and distorted truths. Interesting. He placed your worth in others' hands, allowing reputation to overshadow authenticity. With that, I'm getting that some of you guys might seek outside validation. It's important to make sure that your light shines within yourself no matter what other people think about you, because if we allow ourselves to just you know only feel good about ourselves when other people constantly tell us something, like give us praise and stuff like that, you got to recognize within yourself that you're the shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't let everybody else be the ones like to tell you. You have to feel that and own it, is what I'm kind of getting here. So we have in the middle of the deck contract. Interesting. Deep karmic bonds bring responsibilities and life lessons. Relationship strain caused by codependency and conflict. So that goes back to like that cycle thing I was talking about before, right? Maybe one of the cycles that you're trying to learn how to break is codependency. I'm picking up on for some of you. Only take the messages if they resonate, but I am picking up on that possibility. So breaking soul contracts and being able to understand that, again, you have to learn how to seek validation within yourself rather than external factors, so on and so forth. And I'm getting that's like not just love related. I'm getting that might be like with work and stuff too. So let me know if that resonates for any of you who end up watching this and resonating with this message. Tell us more. What else does the collective need to know at this time for their highest good? Clearest and most accurate message. Just get a few from here to break this new deck in. This is, again, if you came in a little bit late, this is the it's like a vintage card deck kind of thing, like with comics and stuff. It's kind of cool. But it's the love and money deck. I got this off of Amazon. Not too expensive or anything like that for those of you who are also readers or just like to play with decks from time to time. All right, what we got here? Loneliness. Interesting. Going back to that codependency that I was picking up anyway. Distant twin flame fuels your spiritual journey and inner growth. Solo venture reveals hidden truths and personal growth. Yes, exactly. Being able to handle things on your own. Hey, brain, how are you? So, yeah, sometimes, going back to like what I was picking up on, like codependency, right? Seeking outside validation. Some of you guys might be working on figuring out how to do things on your own, figure out who you are on your own, doing that introspection. I'm kind of getting individuals who might have been single for a bit, or just really focusing on getting like introspection, retrospection, getting something like that. Like, those are the words that keep kind of going in a loop in my head. Ironically, I was talking about looping a little while ago. But that's what I keep kind of hearing and picking up on. Ooh, we have twin flame on the bottom of the deck. What's this about? Souls maturing separately. Exactly. As I said, you got to do things on your own. Separately to bring deeper wisdom upon reunion. Exactly. Growing in parallel dimensions, destined to intersect again. Evolving separately and becoming whole individually. Exactly. Wow. You can't make this shit up. Like, even if you wanted to. Like, literally, the card is they're speaking for themselves, right? So this is definitely giving, like, for some of you, this could be a twin flame journey. And if it's not a twin flame journey per se, it could just be, again, this energy of learning how to, be independent and figure things out on your own and be on your own, and working on that sense of growth and healing, again, on your own. We have urgent news, unexpected event, breaking news of unexpected disputes and rising tensions. Interesting. Engaged in constant battles and facing relentless opposition. For some of you, there could have been a lot of arguments or something with a person that you dealt with who maybe you thought was a twin flame, or it could be your actual twin. And I'm getting, like, I heard isolation. Like, you might have felt isolated from this person. I also heard emotional isolation. That's never good, right? You want to make sure that you guys are able to be with each other and there for each other on an emotional level. And when you start to feel lonely within the dynamic, that causes a rift. So you have to do what you have to do and learn how to survive on your own. Self-discipline. Stuck in a bad routine that hampers your productivity. feeling empowered by choosing sobriety over alcohol. Focus on long-term discipline rather than short-term comfort. So some of you guys, now I'm getting that this is not going to be for everyone, or it's going to show up in different ways, but I'm definitely getting something about like, and don't don't get offended or anything when I say the word addiction, because addiction comes in different forms, right? Addiction is not always chemical dependencies or drugs and alcohol. Like, it's not always that. There's so many different forms of addiction, and I kept on talking about codependency. That technically is a form of addiction. So with that said, some people here who end up resonating with this message or watching at a later time might resonate with the idea that I'm getting people who are overworkers. I'm getting people who might use food as an outlet. I'm getting people who might, not all addictions look bad, right? Sometimes it's like somebody who just goes to the gym all the time, but the thing is, it's like that could even become an addiction. So it's like, it's one of those kind of things where like anything, any excess of anything can become a bad thing. Even you can even die from drinking too much water, right? Like, as crazy as that might sound, but it's true, right? Like, you could die from drinking too much water. You have a thing called water intoxication. So it's crazy. Like, you could have too much protein, right? So it's like, it's just one of those things where it's very nuanced because it's going to look different for everybody. But just making sure that, your coping mechanisms for how you work on yourself, how you're healing and whatnot are balanced. Making sure that you're not, like, there's no sense of excess in any way that you happen to work on those things. I know it sounds weird, the wording and stuff. I'm just trying to get the message out, but I'm definitely getting somebody who works out, like, because there's such thing as like overtraining. That's a thing. Somebody might be like that. I'm not sure why I'm picking up on that, but there might be somebody who ends up watching at some point who does resonate with that message. So just be careful. Um, and I'm getting like with overtraining, like literally like overworking your body, and maybe eating too many carbs or too much protein. I'm picking up on something like that because that stuff, even though you're working out constantly, can actually do a little bit more harm than good. I'm not a dietitian or a trainer or anything, but that is something that I'm picking up on. Just saying. um, so let me know again if that resonates with anyone. I know that was a little bit of a mouthful, but Spirit said it. So we're gonna, let it rock. um, Numbness. This kind of goes back to what we were just talking about a second ago. Wow. Escaping emotions with substances isolates you. Numbing emotions through substances and losing touch with your true self. Restoring clarity is the first step to rebuilding trust. So it's like, you see like the brain is here, right? No pun intended. The brain is here, and then we got that bottle, right? So it's like, look at the bottle as like, something that's symbolic. It's not necessarily alcohol or drugs, but it could just be something that you're doing that is allowing you to, is a sense of escapism, something that allows you to escape from the things that, you don't want to deal with and or feel, is what I'm picking up on. This is very, very interesting because I didn't know where this was going to go. Like, I had no idea where this was going to go, but I'm hoping that this is making sense and you guys are resonating with this message. Hey, Aya, what's up, girl? Hey, girl, hey. But yes, so for those of you, again, who, a card tried to come out, but I don't know what it was. It went back into the deck. So if it's meant to come out, it will. But yeah, side note, now that she's here, I'm happy she made it. Because I know she's on mommy duty right now doing the amazing things that she does as a mommy. So yeah, Aya is amazing at what she does. Check out her page. And then we got another one of my peoples here. My soul sisters are all popping in. Hey. Okay, so I'm going to say Aya, Inspired Tarot, check her out. And I'm going to say the Phoenix Priestess, check her out. They are amazing at what they do. And just beautiful souls. And I just got like goosebumps as I said that. Like, I feel so warm and fuzzy. Like, I love you guys. You guys are the best. And check them out in terms of their channels. And connect with them because they do different great things, between just like regular tarot readings, but then they do other stuff too. My girl here, Allie from the Phoenix Priestess, she is what I call a shadow boxer. She will help you learn about your shadow self, help integrate that shit, and kick your ass a little bit. She will energetically, but it's what's needed for you to figure out your shit. She's not going to sugarcoat stuff for you. She will tell you exactly what you need to hear. So if that's what you need, that to get your ass in gear, that's who to go to, uh, for sure. And then Aya, Inspired Tarot, she also helps you really understand like those deeper parts of yourself. I just had a Reiki session with her today, right before I came on here, and I felt super inspired, no pun intended, to go live or whatever. I already knew I was gonna go live, but like I felt super empowered when the session was over. Like it was really, really cool. So, if you need somebody who's gonna whip y'all asses into shape and help you on your growth journey, I'm gonna say growth journey because it's all encompassing. Those are the people to go to. Just saying. Other than myself, of course. But no, seriously, they're amazing. I can't wait for them to keep on doing what they're doing and keep growing, keep striving because they're great at what they do. They have a gift. They are gifted. So we have gift here. It says, embrace your uniqueness and offer it as a special gift to the world. Exactly. Cherish yourself. Recognize your inner beauty. Embrace your worth. Absolutely. You are God's gift to this damn planet, and never fucking forget it. Okay, that's all of you guys. Just this is about recognizing your beauty, your uniqueness, and understanding that we all have flaws or things that we want to work on and stuff like that. That's completely understandable. It's very human of us, but just don't forget who you are and stand on that. Remember the great things that you bring to the world, and in relationships what you bring to the table. And when people act like they don't know what you bring to the table, become the whole motherfucking table. You know what I mean? You are the motherfucking table. Like, okay, bet. Everything that we laying out right now is resting on me right now because I'm the motherfucking shit. Okay? Because people, that's like the question people always ask, like when they first start dating. So what do you bring to the table? It's like, what do I bring to the table? I am the motherfucking table. Okay, what are you talking about? So yeah, let's get like maybe, I think maybe 3 more from here. And then we're gonna dive deeper with some other cards as well, or I have a few different decks kind of just here, based on what I'm feeling. All right. Ooh, promotion channel. Random thoughts and signs of progress guide your upward journey. I love that. As I was talking about a growth journey, upward journey, I can dig that. I could dig those words. Upward and onwards, what I'm getting. Numbers appearing frequently signal your steady progress. So some of you guys might be seeing a lot of angel numbers. Hey Teresa, how are you? Yes, I'm getting, some of you guys might be seeing like a lot of angel numbers popping up. And I'm picking up on seeing maybe like the number 7 a lot or number 8 a lot for some of you. I'm also getting number 2, like in, different formatting. Um, like I'm not pinpointing like any particular angel number or anything, but I'm just like getting like certain ones that I'm like, certain numbers in general. I'm like, they might see it a lot like in totals or something like that. Yeah. Like I just saw 717. Like somebody might have had that recently, like on a receipt or something. It's interesting. Um, but yeah, so it's like, and I just realized I didn't notice it at first, until just now when I looked down. The number here is 61. As I'm saying, I'm picking up on possibly a lot of sevens. Um, yeah, the number here is 61, so it adds up to 7. It's like good luck, and 8 is about prosperity. One thing about me and my girls, we love angel numbers. So like we'll see numbers that popping up somewhere and hit each other up like, hey, look what I saw. Check out this, total at my job, or check out this total at the grocery store, like that kind of thing. Or like the time that you happen to, see on your phone randomly, that kind of stuff. Percentages on your phone corresponding with another, thing like, the time or something. It's crazy. Oh, we got two cards together. So one of them is contract, which was talking about strains and stuff within relationships, as well as like karmic ties, karmic bonds. Hey Cheryl, how are you? Oh, thanks. I never did this before. This is the first time I did cat eye, but I did it like the velvet one, and then I got chrome on the tips. I thought that was pretty cool. It was different than what I typically get. So I was like, ooh, I saw it on Pinterest. I was like, I think I want that. Hit my girl up. I was like, can you do this for me? She was like, yes. I was like, great. All right. The other card that came out with it was Caught Intentions. Um, Feels a barrier to intimacy and unable to form close relationships. Oh goodness, this is like that karmic tie shit we were talking about before. This is like some of the first energy we picked up on. Feels powerless in decision making and unable to influence outcomes. Believes conflict awaits at every turn and struggles to find common ground. So what I'm getting here is that could have been one of the struggles you had with somebody who you had like a karmic tie to. Like everything always was an argument. It's like you can never find like a sense of peace. As soon as everything seems like it's going okay, then that person goes flipping out about some stupid shit. I might be speaking from experience. I might be kind of projecting a little bit, but like as soon as everything's fine, then they want to go arguing about something stupid. And it's like, really? You're arguing with me because someone liked a picture on Facebook I have no control over those fucking things. Are you serious? Like that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, why'd you wear that? It's a tank top. I have on a bra. It's not like I went bra. It's like just like stupid shit. You know what I mean? It's like uh, I'm getting something like that. Like that could have been one of the big things that was an issue within a relationship that you had. Whether it was like your most recent or like, just one that kind of sticks out a lot for you that you're still kind of working on and healing from. Because sometimes, we'll leave a relationship and we're not fully healed. And then we go into new relationships after that. And sometimes either patterns repeat or we're just not where we need to be. So we end up having to end those relationships prematurely because we still got that shit to worry about and deal with. I've been there, so I know how that goes. Um, so it's giving me like, just learning how to not have all these tension building issues within a relationship and how to maintain peace within a relationship and a peaceful. And when I say a peaceful, I'm putting emphasis on that word for a reason, because it's like we're not talking about sweeping things under the rug. That's not what I'm gonna say. We're not gonna sweep shit under the rug. We're gonna talk about it. If something's bothering you, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta talk about it. You gotta speak your truth. I'm getting throat chakra energy all of a sudden. You gotta speak your fucking truth. You gotta say what's on your mind without coming at each other's throats and necks constantly, right? It's kind of what I'm picking up. So let me know if that resonates. For some of you, you could have been married to this person, or there was a proposal, or you talked about marriage, or it could have been like a karmic tie to that person, like a soul tie that you're still kind of working on getting out of. I'm getting a few different things on that one. Um, we have flexibility, adapt and overcome, and bend without breaking. Exactly, bend without breaking. I like that. It's giving me like that Bruce Lee quote about being like water and also being like the willow tree instead of the bamboo tree. But I don't know the exact quote, so you guys might want to look that up. But that's my boy though. um, Hiding is a strategy, not a weakness. Interesting. Strength found in the ability to yield and bounce back. Yeah, exactly. Bounce back, baby. Bounce back. Let's get one more from here. I do hope that you guys are resonating with the message so far. I do like this deck. I had to like kind of tap into it more than once to really get a feel for it, because it is very different than the decks I typically work with. But because it's very nuanced and it's like kind of, as a reader, those of you who also understand how readings go and, using oracle cards and stuff, like you connect for so many different reasons. You connect with the imagery, you connect with the wording, you connect with the official meaning versus what you get intuitively. You connect with numbers on the cards. Like it's a lot of different things going on. So sometimes that one flew out. So it's like, you it does take time to connect with certain decks from time to time, but not always. Sometimes you'll connect with a deck like instantly. And then other times, you know, gotta kind of break them in a little bit, which is why I'm breaking them in with you guys a little bit. And I feel like I'm getting a clear message right now. I feel like it's making sense. Like the cards actually are flowing. Um, so we have that energy of unexpected events. So it's like about disputes and, you know, tensions rising again, which we did see that earlier. And let's get maybe one more from here. I think one more will suffice. Comparison. Can't compete where you don't compare, baby. Focus on your own path exactly and stop seeking validation. Did I not say that earlier in the reading? Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. This is going to be the last card from this deck. Um, from external sources. I literally said that. Not seeking validation outside of yourself and from external. I think the word I used was forces, not sources, but that's crazy that is showing up here. That's wild. Comparison with others distracts you from your own path, and inequality in resources creates a tension. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Oh, I didn't know you're doing lives on TikTok. That's cool. I gotta make sure I check that out. That's really cool. Okay. Mental note taken. Because I don't really use TikTok like that. I don't even know if I really have it on my phone anymore. Or I think I have it, but like I turned off the touch notifications and I really don't use it. But oh, wow. I love that. All right, bottom of the deck, we have deadline. Focus on what can be done now and not what has been delayed, right? Don't focus on, you know, the delays. Like, if we focus on that, we're going to never fucking be happy. It's ridiculous. Like, we can't do that, right? We got to keep on trucking. We got to keep on pushing forward. So there are some endings also happening with it, you know, with this, you know, there's like a skeleton there, like approaching that dead end there, or that you know, it says deadline. Um, I heard dead end in my head, but I know it says deadline. Break the cycle of procrastination with small steps. I like that a lot. Um, things things they're trapped in. Wait. Oh, things. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Thinks they're trapped in a procrastination cycle with no end in sight. So, if sometimes you, I can resonate with this actually. If you happen to be one of those individuals, raise his hand, who you know you procrastinate as a way to try to like avoid things from happening because you're like, oh, well, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I'm just gonna avoid it altogether. Like, spirit is calling your asses out and saying, absolutely not. And I know how that goes because I do the same thing, and it does create a cycle a little bit. I want to see something. I'm sure one of you guys already took care of that. Shut. I don't know why it does that. Hey, babe. Ooh, and gossip. Unfounded allegations damage reputations and trust. Whispers of gossip cause confusion and spread misinformation. That's also a thing. Yeah, we don't want people just spreading falsehoods about us, right? But the big thing I'm picking up from the last cards that we just saw is this energy of, you know, don't avoid change just simply because you are afraid of the changes, right? We want to remain adaptable, right, and flexible, because when we stay in our circumstances out of fear, we're doing ourselves a disservice, right? And it creates that cycle. When one of the cards, it's not on the main spread, but it was the no exit, I think was the card, and there's literally you could see a person just walking around in like this square with steps, but like all the steps are like the same height, and they just keep on going like in a, you know, this box, and it's like I almost want to quickly find it. Ironically, it might be you might also want to start not using your phones as much. You might be using your phones too often. I actually have been thinking about kind of working on that myself. I'm not gonna, there, I found it. Yeah, there we go. No exit. You see how like he's just like kind of like, I heard hamster wheel when I saw the card earlier, but like you see how there's like no exit, right? You just keep doing the same shit all the time. It's a cycle. We don't want to keep on doing the same shit over and over again, right? We're trying to break the cycles, break the habits. Um, because it doesn't make sense to stay in our circumstances, especially out of fear, and then procrastinate and stay stuck. You know, we're just doing ourselves a disservice by doing that. But yeah, I'm also getting like a detox from our phones. I'm gonna say our because I definitely doom scroll when I'm not doing anything from time to time. Like I try to find like, you know, meaningful things to do with my life and my time. But there are times where I'm just on the couch and, you know, I get out of work and I put my PJs on after I take my shower and I'm just like, whatever. I'm just gonna do this. You know, back when I used to wear my glasses, it would be me pushing my glasses up over my back up, you know, over my nose. Oh wow, haha, this is so funny. Oh wow, that little kitten is so cute. I love watching little animal videos. Like it's like do something meaningful. Like if you're gonna be, you know, constantly scrolling on, you know, social media and shit, like do something meaningful. Like, you know, the shit that I watch, sometimes I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? And then I'm like, did you just spend like a whole hour just looking at this? Like, you know, we have to be mindful of how we consume our time and our energy, right? And it's like, you know, I want to start getting more into like watching videos that happen to do with like after Aya, are you still here? When you did my Reiki session today for me, um, one of the things that like towards the end of it that I was picking up on was I saw myself eating a raw food diet. Like I saw myself eating like an acai bowl, and then I saw myself eating clean. So like just like, you know, not vegetarian or anything, but just eating all like organic and clean foods, and I felt like my skin was glowing. Like this is what I saw while I was, you know, getting the having the session done, and I'm just like, wow, this is so nice. Like my hair is shiny and my fro is big, and like I didn't have these damn raccoon eyes. Like I felt really good. So I'm telling you guys to check her out. But I felt like all these great things happening, and I'm just like, and then we were talking about like where some of my, you know, blockages are, and one of them is like in the sacral chakra. Makes a lot of sense to me, and in the solar plexus. So I'm like, huh, I need to move, I need to eat better. Like there's are these things that I know I need to do, and then like while, because it was like a dentist one, so like, you know, as she's doing it, I'm feeling the energy, and I could feel like the things that I know I need to work on happening throughout the it was pretty. It's not a reading, but like throughout the session, I'm like, whoa, this is amazing, and I'm so happy I did it because like I felt so much lighter at the end. Like I felt a clearing happening. Now I just have to do my part when it comes to the clearing, right? Clear that energy out and do what I need to do for myself too, because um you know, it's not a one-sided thing, right? This clearing of this energy and whatnot. I have to pull my weight here. So I don't know why I'm like indulging so much of, you know, or not indulging, that's not the word. There's a word I'm looking for, I can't think of it right now. But divulging, there we go. Divulging so much of my, you know, my journey and stuff. But, you know, I know there's things that I want to do differently for myself, and I guess that's why I brought it up, you know. So again, doom scrolling could be a thing for some of us, like constantly just looking at stupid shit that, like, you know, we could, you know, be doing better. 3 3 3 3 when I said that, like, you know, we could be looking at better things. And yeah, you do, Allie, you really do. Like, I love your posts. I love that you've been posting every day, more than once a day. Like, and they're like the things that I do happen to pop up across like on my feed, and I'll be like, oh shit, yeah, she posted something today, and I'm like, yes, yes, honey, yes. It'd be really good stuff, like to make me like to get me thinking, you know, which is awesome. So we need to be more cautious. I'm gonna say we need to be more cautious about the things we consume, and not, again, not just like internally, like what we eat and things like that, but otherwise, like the energies around us that the energies that we surround ourselves with, like the people and things like that. The food that we consume is a big one. The things that we watch, the things we listen to, all of that. You know, everything should have some type of meaning to it, or we should at least try to have things that have meaning to it in our lives. Um, That's what I'm getting. Like, it's okay to like laugh at things and stuff like that, whatever. Like, that's fine. Comedy is cool, but like watching like fights, I used to actually indulge in those stupid ass videos. I don't know why I used to be into that. Watching people fight. I'm like, what? So like world star. Remember back in the day, guys? Yeah, if you know, you know. Like, I don't know what the fuck would possess me to think that's cool. There's nothing okay with that. So like low vibrational. Like, no. You know, like that's say we should be, you know, blowing smoke and rain. I mean, no smoke and mirrors when it comes to trying to make everything like a fucking, you know, rainbows and butterflies, because that's not life. But like what I mean is, it's like, you know, we should be trying to influence each other in a positive way, the things that we watch and stuff like that. Things should be spiritual, spiritually aligned is what I'm getting. It says, I love how aligned we are in our beliefs and core values. We can really grow together. So I think this is maybe what you guys are kind of seeking. And, you know, we're working on that. I'm gonna say we because we're a collective, right? We're, you know, even though I'm in a relationship, I'm constantly trying to, you know, build and grow myself up and figure out ways to be, you know, a better version of myself all the time, not just for my relationship, but more so for myself. That's the most important thing, because when everything is said and done, that's what I have to sit with no matter what. And it's across the board for all of us. Yeah, stopping at red flags. If you see red flags constantly popping up in a relationship or when you're dating, then you need to do what you gotta do. Put a hold to that shit. Um, it says, you promised yourself you'd never date someone like me again. So this might be actually like a past energy or something. Like I heard remembrance. Like I also heard resurgence. So some of you guys might have, you know, um, repeated patterns. We kind of saw that energy show up of, you know, getting into situations that don't work for you, whatever those red flags are for, you know, your what's the word I'm looking for, your deal breakers, right? And going past those deal breakers and staying in relationships that you shouldn't stay in. I'm getting something like that. Let me know if that resonates. And the thing is, it could cause you to lose interest, or they lose interest in you, one or the other. I just don't feel the same way anymore. And it's like maybe one of the red flags is you start to stay in relationships where you know that there's a loss of interest there, and you're still trying to hold on, and they're saying, don't do that. You know, don't do that. We have moving in on the top. I can't get enough of you. Do you want to move in together? I'm getting, if you're going to move in with somebody, this seems very specific. This is not going to be for everybody. I'm getting, for some of you in the past, you've moved in with people even though there were red flags already, and you stayed or went towards those situations knowing that there was like nothing there, or you were losing interest, whatever. Like, oh, things might get better once we move. No, no, nothing ever gets better when you move in together. If there's already problems, then you might not want to do that. You might want to reconvene in your own fucking head and say, is this really what you want, bitch? Or nigga? Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that shit. Don't do that shit to yourself. Yeah, see, friend zone. Sometimes people are better off as just friends. I think I think we're better off as just friends. So sometimes you just have to, you know, recognize what shit is. I just heard real lies, real lies, real lies, right? Wow. It's a little Tupac. Well, it's not really a Tupac quote technically, but people always associate it with Tupac for some reason. Like if you look it up, it'll say people associate this with Tupac, but he did not ever say that. But it's still a really good quote, though. Tell us more. Let's get like maybe 4 cards more. Incompatible. We definitely have some differences in perspectives and priorities that could make a relationship challenging. Yeah, exactly. We don't want to be with somebody who we're not compatible with, right? We have to make sure that things are in alignment. That's the big thing here. If there's incompatibility, it is what it is. God call a fucking spade a fucking spade. You know, like you can't force somebody to fit and bend into a shape or mold that you want them to fit in just because. Like, it doesn't work like that. And vice versa. Like, if someone's constantly trying to, change you or something like that, that doesn't work either. Right? We're also getting secrets on the bottom of the deck. And one thing with spirit will reveal shit, okay? And these readings, if there's stuff that you was trying to ignore or something, spirit's like, we're gonna reveal that shit to you. You might not like what you hear. Okay. When I looked up, it was 4011. Take that zero out of there. 411 or 411. What's the 411, hun? That means information, right? You're getting information that you need to fucking hear. Something's unstable. We're getting a whole bunch of stop cards and broken heart cards here. So I'm getting mostly, probably, like, for some of you, this could literally be what you're going through now, and for others, this is past energy that you're working past, and learning about yourself and what it is that you want moving forward. It says, I'll be honest, I'm kind of a mess. So, you might have, been in situations where you dealt with people who are, unstable. You might have been unstable yourself, maybe a combination of the two. One thing we're not going to do on this channel is just put all the blame on the other person. Don't work like that over here. If that's what you want, if you want a pity party, you're at the wrong channel. Just saying. So, we have to take accountability, right? Yeah, but this is what you guys are trying to get towards. A spiritual connection. Where things are aligned. That's what I'm getting. So I'm definitely getting this is more so probably past energy for some of you. Again, it could be current for some. And you're just trying to figure it all out. Like, okay, so what do I do? How do I move forward, right? What does this all mean? What does this look like for me moving forward? Because look, secrets. There's something going on behind the scenes for somebody who's watching. Somebody's a liar or dealing with a liar who lies, obviously. Some redundancy there. But yeah, I'm getting like a liar. I'm getting somebody who, and maybe that's why like that energy of like the cell phone thing kept popping up, like the internet detox and all that. Like somebody might be doing stuff online and lying on there. Um, getting something like that. Yeah, they might be using you for something. It says using you. Maybe I have some ulterior motives. Do you think I might be taking advantage of you? So some of you guys have possibly been taken advantage of, and that could be part of the secret. For others, you might already be going through this now. Um, I'm getting, this is a little bit of a separate message right now, but I am also picking up on some of you guys have been in relationships or whatever, or might be going through that now, or might go through it in the future. With a lot of experimentation. I'm getting it probably like when it comes to like in the bedroom. I'm getting role play possibly. It says, I know this is new for you and I appreciate how open-minded you can be. So there could be something about a relationship that you end up getting into in the near future that is different. That's, not what you're used to. And it's like, whoa, what's this? And you might actually like it, but only do what you're comfortable with. Don't do anything that, goes against the grain in terms of your comfortability. Love struck. This is giving me like, it's almost like a transition because we saw the stuff that was popping up and now we got new energy popping in. What I can pick up on. Love struck. It's pretty obvious you're into me. So you might end up meeting somebody who you are going to be into and they might be into you as well. It's like giving me like Cupid's arrow kind of struck with that. Yeah, see, look, now we're getting go. Responsible. I like that. So it's like a transition. It's like a story being told here of what is to come. I like that. I've got a good head on my shoulders. You can count on me. I like that. Yeah, no, don't date yet. um, ooh, together. Everything is better with you. Let's do life together. I like that. Communication. I'm grateful for the way we listen to each other without judgment. I'm getting like starting off as friends kind of thing, like taking it slow and going from there and then like see what happens. Like, just, you know, take it a day at a time, get to know each other, And that's when like your souls will kind of, be like, yes. It just feel like a connection, and you're gonna be like, whoa, what's this? This is nice. You know what I mean? So, just always be mindful of things that feel amiss. Address those things early on, not in a sense of like being like, paranoid or anything like that. Because like what we don't want to do is compare, our new experiences to our past experiences. We can always, keep them as a reminder of how we want to move forward, right? And, things to pay attention to and stuff like that. But just don't put that pressure onto the next person, you know what I mean? Because what I'm picking up on is, it's very easy to, lose out on a good opportunity by being too concerned about, what has happened in the past, and then you start questioning things too much and stuff like that. Um, However, when things feel amiss, pay attention to your intuition, because there's a big difference between your intuition and actual paranoia. Very, very different. It's a fine line, but that's where discernment comes in. So yeah, confirmation as I'm saying this. Um, yeah, and there's 6 people in here and 5 likes, so it adds up to 11. There's like something about karmic lessons I'm getting. Yeah, and be careful about if there's no spark. We have to admit that the chemistry just isn't there between us. Like, you don't want to stay in situations where you don't feel a connection, right? If it feels like it's just isn't anything there, there's nothing wrong being just friends with that person, or you know moving even past that. But if there feels like there's something more, explore it. We have super like on the bottom of the deck. It says, there's something different about you. You really stand out from the crowd, and I want to know more. I like that. But don't let anybody pressure you into like, you know, going further if you're not willing. And vice versa. Like if, you could kind of pick up on the vibe that, they don't really seem that interested, move on. We've all been there. It happens. But there is somebody who you're going to come across who's going to be ready and responsible. So we got that energy coming up more than once. I like that. I have to pee. I'm trying to wait. I hate when this happens. All right. So, in fact, you know what? Because I have other decks I want to pull from. I have to pee. So please, guys, don't leave. I love you, but I am gonna go pee. And there will be more coming soon. All right. So don't go anywhere. I'm putting on the turned off the camera because I don't want my big old stomach in the frame because I have a crop top on right now. Y'all don't need to see all that. Y'all don't need to see all that. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. All right, guys, I am back. Let me get resituated here. I'm done. I just saw response. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm back. All right, thanks for guys. I really appreciate that. I really had to pee. Well, you weren't lying when you said that I'm gonna end up having to pee a lot. Like I definitely would. I drank my water like you told me to throughout the day, and now I'm like, oh fuck, keep having to pee, which is a good thing. You know, letting everything out, right? So, my loves. Next thing we're gonna look into is some tarot. Let's do maybe a little 6 card spread, just to get some more insight about what to expect, maybe about love coming in. Ooh, the lovers. I mean, we did talk about possible twin flame vibes. It was, I think, it was in the main spread, wasn't it? Ooh, excuse me. It wasn't in the main spread, but it did show up earlier. All right. I just saw the 6 of Cups. Hey, Mama. What do you do that for? Hi. Is it because you want to cuddle? And you're like, I can't cuddle with you. So she's like on the other couch, and she's just like her little face. She's like, I want to hang out with you, but I can't because you're doing other things. Like, yeah, sorry, daughter. All right. 7 of Swords. Interesting. 5115 when I looked up, or 5115, whatever you want to call it. But this is definitely giving like possibly secretive vibes for some. 10 of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So I'm getting throat chakra. All of a sudden, having a hard time breathing. I feel like weight on my chest all of a sudden. I'm getting more than one message on that part. I'm getting either some of you guys were like in a higher level of commitment, possibly married for some, not for all. And there was a lot of secrecy and lies, deceit. I'm also getting that, like, this could be more like symbolic of, maybe being like deceitful to yourself, like knowing that things were not, what you wanted them to be, and being in situations or relationships that were not in alignment with what it is that you desired. The things that are a part of your core values is what I'm getting. Let me know if that resonates with any of you. But that's what I just picked up on. All right, so let's get overall energy. Like I said, we're gonna do a probably like a little 6-card spread with the, I just saw the whatchamacallit, the Justice. So I was picking up on karmic lessons earlier too. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little spread with these. I like that. I needed to do that. All right. Queen of Wands. Not sure how I feel about the Queen of Wands just yet. 3 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands. I don't yet know. I'm getting that was the kept woman. That was the other person for a lot of you. Yep, it was the other person. She was a Jezebel hussy. You guys had to release yourself from that and move forward because your partner ended up being with somebody else. Like there was cheating and stuff involved. Fuck that Jezebel. Get out of here. I know Lati this weekend, she did a reading and the Jezebel kept coming up, and I put Jezebel hussy in the comments in the chat. That show was funny. For those of you who have watched the Boondocks, you know the reference. If you haven't, it's just still funny. It's funny regardless, but like I love that show. It's the Catcher Freeman episode. If you know, you know. It's so fucking funny. If you're into like that type of like crazy, like satirical, like humor and stuff, like you'll get a kick for it. or yeah, you'll get a kick out of it. But like, if that's not your type of humor, then you're gonna be like, no, no, thank you. You know, it depends on the person. Like, I love that show. I love satire. I love, like, you know, the Boondocks. I love, you know, South Park, those type of shows. You know, very, very like politically incorrect, but it's fucking hilarious. I love it. So yes, let's see what's going on here for you guys. Overall energy, spirit. Thank you. Three of Pentacles here again. Yeah, it showed up on the bottom of the deck. I didn't really tell you guys the cards I was seeing, but I was giving you the energy I was picking up on. It's giving me like secrecy. But like, it can also represent teamwork. So it's like, it depends on like the cards that surround it. I didn't pick up on teamwork at all. Not in a good way anyway. Um yeah, so we have Eight of Wands here on the bottom. Exactly. That's right, Allie. 100% right. Yeah. So I'm getting that you guys moved on. You said, you know what? I don't need that vibe. Like, I don't want the vibe of, yeah, Knight of Swords here. Like, I don't need the vibe of, you know, secrecy and lies and shit. 55, 55, as I say that. Like, there was endings that, you know, were brought on by a lot of changes. And it's like, you knew that you had to, like, do what you needed to do to get to this. Thank you, Spirit. Ace of Cups. So it's like, you guys picked yourself. You chose yourself to be able to say, you know what? I'm not about to be a pick me for a motherfucker who ain't treating me right. Like, why am I doing this? Is what I'm getting. Like, you know, you moved on. Tell us more. What's going on with the incoming energy for the collective? Here's the most accurate messages, please, and thank you. If you guys are resonating with the message and haven't done so already, hit that like button. If you're new and haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button as well. I would greatly appreciate that. Ooh. So incoming energy, my friends, my lovies. We do have Ace of Wands energy, which in and of itself is usually good, but we're going to see what is surrounding it first. Ooh, Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Love offers. Wow, and a lot of communication with the Page of Wands. Okay, no, this feels good. I like how my nose just started going crazy itchy just now. This feels good. Ooh, the Empress. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. Okay. Spirit is like, look, as you guys level up and you rise above all the bullshit and you come into your highest self, when you get to that sense of like your divine feminine, divine masculine energy, you got something new coming in. And this is going to be something really nice. This doesn't feel bad at all. This is like, you released all the other bullshit. You got something new coming in. There will be success and victory after all of the disappointment, a real connection. And you're going to be a lot happier. Wow. Ooh. I like that. And there's an Emperor and Empress that's showing up. It's not an official spread yet, obviously. But, yeah. Ooh. This is nice. I love this. All right, Spirit. So, with this new energy coming in, because now I feel like we're getting new energy popping up, right, with the tarot. So, I mean, both energies could possibly pop up. So we're going to use our discernment. But, Spirit, for the new energy, what will be their true intentions? They got a lot to say. I feel like you know this person already for some reason. I don't know why. I'm getting either you already know this person, or when you meet them, you're going to feel like you've known them for a long time. I'm getting something like that. Let's claim it. This is nice. All right, Spirit. What are their true intentions? They're coming in solid. I like it. We have the Page of Pentacles. I feel like they're gonna maybe start off a little bit small, and I'm getting like they might have their own apprehensions. Like they're like, let me just test the waters a little bit. Let me not like go full force. Like I'm not gonna give them a fucking Ace of Pentacles. Hell no. Like, let's start off, a little small with like a date offer or something like that. Um, and then we had saw the Page of Wands too. So it's like, or sorry, yeah, the Page of Wands. So like that's about communication. So I am getting like, they're gonna want to communicate a lot. They might, offer small like date options or something like that. And this is something that I think you might have manifested. Damn, I'm getting like tongue tied. I feel like you manifested this person or they manifested you, maybe both. Um, Interesting. Yeah, I'm picking up like manifestations, like this is what you've been kind of waiting for to come in, and vice versa. I'm not getting any like trickery or anything right now. Yeah, and that's the truth. They're coming in with the truth. Ace of Swords on the top of the deck. Like they're coming in strong. I like this a lot. The star. This is beautiful energy, my friends. Wow, I like this a lot. Their intentions are true. Like they're not like, again, they're gonna come in like maybe a little bit kind of small with things. Like they're not gonna be offering you dates to like Michelin star restaurant or anything like that. But I'm getting like they're coming in with like maybe, oh, let's go out for coffee. I think coffee dates are great. People be like, oh, that means that they're cheap, and then no, it doesn't. They're preserving and protecting their energy just like we do as women. You know what I mean? Like, you know, or however you fall in you know, the plethora of different gender identities and all that. I always want to make sure I make everybody feel included on my channel. So hopefully I didn't offend anybody by saying that. But speaking as for myself as a heterosexual woman, like I have been on dates where like I've had people spend a lot of money on me, and I've had dates where there was barely any money spent at all, and those were some of the best dates I ever had. And I'm just like, I don't need I don't need all the bells and whistles. Like, is it nice from time to time? Of course, naturally, yeah, it is. But like, is it necessary? Not necessarily. You know what I mean? So like, one of my best dates I've ever been on was to a coffee shop, like a nice, like in the cut little, somewhat bougie coffee shop. So it was still relatively expensive. I mean, affordable, and also like to a bookstore. I'm like, wow, this is different. You know what I mean? During the daytime, not, in the nighttime where you're trying to get me drunk and get in my pants. Like, read the room, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, interesting. So that's what I'm getting. Like, it might be like, a smaller kind of gesture, but it's going to work. It's going to make sense. You're going to be like, damn, this is nice. I heard metaphysical. Somebody is going to be somebody who's also like, obviously if you're watching tarot, you're probably kind of in that niche, and you might go on a date to a metaphysical shop with somebody. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. So that's your story. Claim it. I love that though. That's so cool. All right, Spirit, tell us more. What is this person's or I should say, what are this person's future actions towards the collective? What else do they need to know? Oof. They're trying to muster up the strength, okay, to come towards you. Like, they may have Leo in their chart for some of you. They're just trying to figure out how to do it. I keep getting that they might know you already, honestly. This is not for everybody, but like I'm getting for some of you, they already know you, and they're just trying to figure out how to come towards you the right way. I'm getting like they want to come correct. Six of Pentacles on the bottom, like they are the type of person where like once they realize like you're the person that they're interested in, they are going to like really put forth that effort. And they really are big on like equal give and take in relationships. I am picking up on this person might not be big on gender roles, which I am all for that. I think that's pretty cool. Like, they're not going to expect you to take care of all the things at home all the time. Let's say if kids end up being a thing down the line, like they're not going to put all that pressure on you and stuff like that. I'm getting like, especially like those of you who are women, um like I'm getting like, or identify as women I should say, um or as females. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be like, offensive to anyone. But I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Please don't like crash out on me in the comments if I'm like not being politically correct. Um, I try to be mindful of those things though. Um, but yeah, like I'm getting like, in terms of like I said, like gender roles and stuff, like I'm getting there. Like they're gonna want to make sure that everybody's pulling their weight equally in the house. Like you're not gonna feel like you're doing all the stuff in the house by yourself and stuff like that, or doing all the work all the time. Like it's gonna be a nice balance, and I think that's a good thing to have in this day and age, because like it doesn't make sense like as women, um, like, so people who women. This is my opinion. I'm just gonna put this out there. Women who think that men should still pay for everything, I think that's dumb. Okay. Let me dial back. I don't think it's realistic. There we go. Dumb is a little bit I don't like how I said that. Dumb is not right. Let me not say dumb. But I don't think it makes sense. We're in a different era than we were from our grandmothers or great grandmothers, so on and so forth. Like they couldn't work and stuff like that. So we had, some of us had our grandmothers actually fight for rights to be able to do this, and that, and fair rate wages and all that stuff. But we're still saying, oh, I want them to take care of me and I shouldn't have to do anything. So you keep all your money to yourself? Like what? No, that's not fair. Like that's my opinion. Like times have changed. Like it's not the same that it was before. Like if we were still just on our backs all the goddamn time and taking care of babies and cooking all and housekeepers and all, or homemakers or whatever, like, and I'm not taking away from the people who are more into that, nothing wrong with it. It's just being realistic. If you're working, you're a college educated woman in most cases, and blah blah blah, like that does, to me that doesn't make any sense. I will be damned if my grandmother had walked in marches and stuff like that for me to sit there and just be on my back and cleaning a fucking house and taking care of fucking babies, when I have the ability to go get a college education, which I did, and work just as hard as you do, if not harder in some cases, and then like not do anything at home. Like no. And same thing could be said the other way around. So it's like, okay, so guess what? If I'm working as hard as you are working, I'm just as educated as you are, possibly more in some cases. I'll be damned if you're not gonna pull your weight in this fucking house with these fucking kids and cleaning this goddamn house and things like that, cooking and all that stuff. Like we gotta pull our weight together. So I know that was another mouthful kind of thing, but I am getting that. And this person is gonna see eye to eye with you with that, and it will be something where they recognize your hard work and dedication, and vice versa. Six of Wands, like I feel like it's going to be an equal give and take, and this is definitely giving, 10 of Cups here in the middle of the deck. Like this is giving, like, this person wants family and all that stuff. They want that home life and all that, and there might be some traditions and stuff that come up, but I feel like you guys are going to be able to bounce those things off of each other and be able to come to a happy medium, and I think that's awesome. I really think that's awesome. Oof, too many cards. Way too many cards. I'm not taking all of these. But for the ones that came out as a little clump, got the Temperance, the Fool, and Knight of Pentacles. I'm gonna put them back. What did I say? Interesting. Yeah, so it's one of those, like, whatever works, right? Like, I definitely am not one of those, like, people who think, like, gender roles have to be a specific way. It definitely depends on the dynamic within the relationship, whatever works for you. But don't let it be one of those things where you let society be the thing that dictates that. Because, again, if because there are men who they call themselves like Mr. Mom, where the woman is actually the one out there as the breadwinner and they stay home with the kids. That happens too. So it's like, nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of what works for your relationship and just making sure that, nobody's trying to, you know, pull the wool over the next person's eyes to get over on the next person. That's the big thing to me. But that's neither here nor there. All right. So, what's going on behind the scenes for the collective that they might not know about this connection that we're picking up on? What do they need to know here? Oof. For some of you, you guys may have to make a choice, is what I'm getting. Two of Wands. I'm getting a couple of things. I'm getting either you're going to have to make a choice about something. The other thing is I'm getting that this person could live at a distance from you. So I'm getting possible like moving vibes, planning. Yeah, planning and being strategic. Two of Cups here. Just so you guys don't think I'm making up stuff. But yeah, there's a strategy kind of thing. Yeah, woo, you gotta strategize this. I like that. And see, like Seven of Swords is on the bottom, but it's not like in a negative way here. This is about strategizing and planning. There's a difference, right? Yeah, you gotta do things behind the scenes. You can't be telling, yeah, you can't tell people all your business. You gotta protect that shit. Because the thing is, people are gonna try to be in your business and that can impact your relationship moving forward. Allie, you're a fucking asshole, and I love it because you are my girl. Yo, you're crazy. She's like, yeah, I am, and I love you too. Yes, you are a fucking nut. My goodness. All right, so let's get the overall, or not the overall, the likely outcome and or some advice for the collective, and then we're gonna dive into some and we'll dive into some more oracle cards. I'll take those. I feel connected to them. All right, so we've got, ooh, wow, yes, makes sense. It kind of coincides with the things we've already seen or talked about. We have the Ten of Wands. They came out in this order, so I'm gonna tell you guys what I got. Ten of Wands, which is about a burden. It's about releasing, right? You're at the end of your rope kind of thing. Like there's been a lot of things that have been going on that have caused you a lot of angst, a lot of stress, and those things are about to start letting up because you're at the end of it. How do we know that you're at the end of it? Because the Death card came out along with it. Like I said, in this order. So there's an ending happening here. And I picked up on endings even earlier in the reading. It's one of the things I said way early in the reading if you want to check that part out. And then we have Six of Pentacles here again, officially on the spread. So it's giving me like, there's going to be this sense of balance and harmony. I'm getting like almost like temperance vibes, even though that's not the card. But like, it's definitely giving like, there's going to be this equal give and take. It's not going to be like just you constantly, it's not going to be like, the scale's always like this or always like this. Like skewed is the word I just heard. Like, no, those days are about to be over. Like you're going to start feeling this energy of like the effort that you put out is the effort that, or the energy you're going to get back. Yes. And there's going to be something worth celebrating here. I like that. Yep, but the thing is, you're gonna have to see things for what it is, and you're gonna have to cut things out that don't work for you. Yeah, so there might be some choices to be made with the Lovers here, and that was the first card we saw in the reading. I'm getting either, possibly both. It's like giving me there are choices to be made, but it's also giving me like that choice is gonna lead to your divine partnership too. I'm getting that. So just saying, claim it if that's what you're looking for, baby. Just to be nosy, let's look at what's the gossip. Because this might give us a little bit more insight about stuff, and just maybe a little bit of insight of what for you guys to do at this time to move forward. So let's get maybe like 4 cards or something like that from here. And then I have the Romance Angel Oracle. I have like 3 other decks after this one to read from. I'm not going to read a lot of cards though from the rest of the ones that are here. So that way you guys could, you know, be on your way for the evening and, you know, do other things other than just watching me. But I greatly appreciate you guys for being here. Hustle mode, that's right. You know what's funny? I'm not gonna turn this around, but like I have like one of those like little lo-fi videos going on in the background with like the digital animation and stuff like that. And she's like in an office space kind of thing with like the headphones on, and she's on her computer. It looks very similar to this. Very, very similar. So like you guys are about to be hustling and just working on yourself. And we talked about that earlier, like just being in your bag, focusing on yourself and, you know, getting right in that way. Not focusing too much on love. That's what I'm kind of picking up on. Let's get like 3 from here. 3 or 4 from here. It says, trust the signs, paying attention to guidance, universe speaking clearly, following intuition, message received. And like the illustration, it says, trust the signs, follow and guidance. Like, given, like, follow where you're being led, right? So, you know, you and I said something about like signs and synchronicities earlier. I feel like I did mention something about that. Like, you're constantly being kind of pushed and pulled in different directions, and there's a reason why. Because certain things don't align with you anymore and other things do. And it's like spirits is like letting you know constantly, like, hey, you're meant to do this. You know? And some of this is like, you know, an internal kind of thing. We kind of sort of discussed that as well in a different way. But like I was saying, like, you know, not seeking outside validation, right? Focusing on what you feel like within yourself and not because of what other people have to say about you. It goes back to this, looking in that mirror. It says self-competition, personal growth. Becoming better than yesterday, my only competition. Exactly. Remember, we were also saying earlier, you can't compete where you don't compare, right? It's not about competing with everybody else. The only competition should be yourself. So let's get 2 more from here. Plastic smiles, fake ass people, fake kindness, forced friendliness, hiding resentment, behind smiles, friends is only in the name. So making sure you pay attention to other people in your life too, possibly friends, who act like they're, you know, truly your friends and have your back, who don't actually have your back. So that's always scary because you don't fucking know, right? And secret admirer, hidden affection, anonymous notes, unknown interest, and someone's watching. Whoa, someone's watching, you guys. This is giving me another vibe though. I'm also getting, there could be somebody who like fakes the funk. Fakes the funk about what the relationship is. Like, you guys are just friends, but they have other motives. Interesting. I'm also smelling something. Not like a bad smell. It smells actually really nice. I'm getting like, I'm smelling like vanilla and musk. Let me know if that resonates. I don't know if that's one of you guys, like your own perfume coming in that I'm smelling, or like someone who was close to you, like who passed on, or it could just be somebody who's in your energy who's trying to make their presence known right now. But like, I'm getting like vanilla. I'm almost getting like they wear it like here. Like you hug them and you smell it type thing. That's so interesting. This is very specific. This is not good for everybody, but this is what I'm picking up on. Yeah, like vanilla, musk, sandalwood is another thing I'm picking up on. Very interesting. Huh. Could be that secret admirer, but I'm getting that could be something else for somebody. Like I said, maybe a past and loved one or something. That seems very specific though. That's not gonna be for everybody. Hey, blessings. What's up, girl? We have let it go on the bottom of the deck, releasing grudges, emotional freedom, forgiving yourself and others, free your heart here. Interesting. Let's get one more from here. So we got me versus me, and then we have mirrors. Very, very similar energies. Mary, Mary, why you bugging? That's what I just heard. Facing yourself and others. Interesting. Reflective relationships. Some of you guys might be empaths. Um, Very interesting. Reflective relationships, self-awareness. What you see is you. Hmm. Very interesting. Wow. Getting a couple of things with that. Sorry. So I'm getting like light work and dark work. Like I'm getting somebody might be like an empath or something, and let me know if it resonates. And you've been that type of person where you can mirror off, like you can reflect onto another person what it is that they're meant to see. Is what I'm getting. That's very specific. That's not gonna be for everybody. Yeah, behind the mask on the bottom, hidden emotions concealing true self. Exactly. Afraid to show reality. No one sees the real me. Exactly the thing. So you're helping, reflect somebody's image to them. That is so specific. That has nothing to do with the love reading at all. I mean, unless we're talking about like maybe twin flame type of energy or like karmics and stuff, but I don't think that's what's going on there. I think what they're saying that some of you guys see how I can't even get my words out. It's so weird. All of a sudden, I'm getting that somebody who ends up watching this, they are like I said, like an empath or something like that, and like they're able to mirror. I'm getting sage too. Like you're able to you're very wise. You're able to like reflect and bounce back someone's energy to them so they can see what they need to do for themselves. And that shit is not always pretty. The shit that they've been hiding behind and all of that, it comes out. Mm, just saying. Lessons learned. You help them see the lessons that are learned. Wow. Hmm. So that felt like that was like a separate message right there. It says, wisdom gained, completing cycles, growth through experiences. I am wiser now. Wow. And remember I just said something about the sage? Like the sage is somebody who's very wise, and then they give that energy and wisdom off to other people. That's the sage. Self-care Sunday. So they're definitely saying prioritizing your overall self-worth and your self-care. It says prioritizing rest, recharge emotionally, pampering yourself, me time matters. So it's definitely a time to like maybe you guys do that a lot and don't cleanse yourself after. This is very specific and particular. This is not gonna be for everybody. Um I'm picking up on that for someone. Wow. Um, let's see. We're gonna start closing this out. I don't really think there's much more to look into. Because I'm not really picking up on like a particular person when it comes to like love. I feel like there is like a new energy coming in, but it's very like it's in its infancy. Let's put it that way. So it makes it kind of hard to like really dive into that more. Like they're not gonna have confessions for you and stuff like that because I brought out that deck or like their true intentions. Like we kind of looked into that already too. So it's like they have intentions. They they're gonna make like small offers towards you. So I don't really think there's much more to look into. But I think the last thing I want to pull from is this one. um, this is the messages from the heart. I think let's get like maybe 3 from here, and I think that'll be it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really look into. I think that with this being like kind of showing that there's nothing like super like close right now about to happen. This is giving more like what is to come in the future when other things happen first. So, you know, we shall see. Yeah, see? Can't make this up. What comes out when I say that? Wait. Don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. Exactly, Spirit. Thank you for the confirmation. Um, let's get two more from here. Did it give me exactly two? They sure enough did. Spirit's been doing that a lot lately. I'd be like, give me three, and they give me exactly three. I'm like, what? My beloved, these came out together, so I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna ask for more after this one. Though we may be physically apart, spiritually, we are always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. So this is something from your person who's coming in. They're not here yet, but they're coming, and that's a really nice energy. The spirit is like, listen, it's gonna happen. This is like the part of the game where you have to make sure that you're doing what you need to do for yourself first. No more feeling lonely. No more feeling like, wow, I always overextend and overgive in these connections. When is it going to be my turn? Like, so on and so forth. The things that we saw throughout this reading, like, there's no more of that. You guys are about to start focusing on yourself more. You're going to pour into yourselves. And as you pour into yourselves and work on yourselves, grow. That's a big part that we were picking up on, excuse me, earlier. That sense of growth. That's when you attract that right partner. It says, imagine all the unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. Now, those came all together, my beloved and this one. Let's get one more from here. I like that. I like that a lot. One more from your spirit. Or three. Okay. That's fair. They all came out together, so I'm going to take them. All right, so we have a message for you. I'm thinking of you at this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. So yeah, this is like a 3D, I mean, not 3D, a 5D level type of companionship and connection you have with somebody who, for some of you, you might have already met them, but maybe just as friends. I keep picking up on maybe it's just a friendship right now. And if not, it's gonna start off like very, very simple, small, and all of a sudden it's just gonna be like, whoa, hold up, who is this person? Why do I feel like I've known you for my whole life? And it's gonna feel really good. But it's gonna be so like organic where you don't have to push or force anything. Look, we have only time will tell. These all came out together. Definitely a sense of like patience, understanding, letting, yeah, because we had wait as the first card that came from this deck, right? So it's like just waiting it out and allowing things to happen and unfold naturally. It says, beware of what you're projecting, for the qualities you admire in another are are qualities. It's funny because I said equality, so I'll say something about that in a second. There are qualities you both possess equally, so the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. Now, we talked about this mirror energy, right? Very, very interesting. So what I'm getting with this, because I did say something about equality that was not the word that I was trying to use, but it came out of my mouth for a reason. So I'm getting that, Spirit is basically saying that equality is going to be a big thing within your relationship, a big dynamic. That equal give and take that we were talking about earlier. I think Spirit is just saying that your person, they value that just as much as you do, is what I'm getting. Wow. I like it. Friendship, and I said something about friendship before. This is on the bottom of the deck. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. So, again, going back to that, sense of companionship and friendship within the dynamic of the, romantic relationship before you have anything else. New beginning here. Whew. Guys, this is so beautiful. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. This is nice. Middle of the deck. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So, so it's very easy to, like, finger point and all that stuff in relationships, like, oh well, you could have did this, you could have done that, blah, blah. And you know that's our truth in those moments, right? And it's like, it's completely understandable, but at the same time we have to learn how to not constantly nitpick and all that, and see the value in the person that we're with, and understand that there's beauty even in the flaws and things that can be worked on, right? Don't constantly nag and beat your partner up, because that's not fair. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, because we're learning how to forgive and learn, right? I know I said that was the last thing I was gonna read from, but and we also have very soon here, by the way. All right, this is for real. This is it. You said, what grade do I teach? You can say technically right now I'm teaching between kindergarten and going into second grade. I work with kids with special needs, so at my school we do it, or at least in my program we do it based on developmental stage. So I did just see reconciliation, by the way. So right now I work with stage 3 children who operate and function as if they're like between the ages of 6 and 9. They do have delays in other areas, like academically they are actually not too far off from grade level. We're teaching them how to read and stuff like that. We do math. Some of them are like so advanced when it comes to that, like they're already doing like multiplication and counting money and stuff, which is pretty cool. But then it's like the other stuff, that the emotional regulation, I guess you would say, that piece, the behavioral piece sometimes as well, that contributes to their delay. And that's why autism is on a spectrum, because there are these kids who are so genius, where it's like they are like up there so high, but then like when it comes to, like, say, executive functioning at like just the most basic level, they have that, there's that discrepancy, those, so to speak, or disparity there. And it's like, how can they do that but they can't do that? It's very interesting. But my kiddos are so awesome. I love them. I absolutely love them. So we have, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Ooh la la. Yes, we talked about self-love and all that stuff way early in the reading. If you guys want to check the reading out from the beginning, go ahead, because we did talk about that. It was one of the first things we discussed, in fact. Because we were talking about like codependency and stuff like that, and how to kind of shed ourselves of that. What does that end up looking like? And it usually is like that spark that kind of drives people into their self-love and self-care journeys. So when you understand that, like, you come first always, not the other way around, like, you know, there comes a point where you have to understand there's nothing wrong with being selfish. It's self-preservation. If you're constantly putting yourself out there for another person or other people, and getting shitted on, in a sense, it's like, how is that going to help anyone, in particular yourself? Like, no. And that's why equal give and take is so important at this time, and we've been seeing that energy popping up. All right, so we have trust. The situation is calling you to have faith. Yeah, have faith in the unknown, right? Like, you don't necessarily know what's going to happen, but spirit is definitely kind of giving hints and stuff like that, everything will work out. It's scary because you don't necessarily know what's going to happen, but allow things to just kind of take shape and go with the flow. Be in a flow like state, like we were talking about earlier. Be like water. Be like the willow tree instead of the bamboo tree, right? That Bruce Lee quote we were talking about earlier. We have playfulness. Some of you guys might need to learn how to find this again in your relationships, and or just in general in your life. It says, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit to have fun and shine. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Like being able to laugh together and just be silly. Like that's a great feeling. One more from here, Spirit, to close out this reading. Thank you. Finances and career, which was also one of the first things that popped up in the reading. Can't make it up. It's all coming back full circle. Spirit was saying like you guys are getting in your bag. You're focused on that, and keep on doing so you can make sure that you are well equipped when it comes to making sure that financially you're secure, and you'll start to see other things kind of fall to the wayside, and other things start to come in that are the things that you're trying to attract, including romantic feelings for somebody possibly. Um, your feelings are real and worth exploring. I like that. What did Blessing say? My daughter said, nice. Your daughter's doing the damn thing, huh? Yeah, see, not for nothing. Special education is interesting. It also depends on what state you live in. Cause some states, you make more than others. Connecticut, believe it or not, the average special education teacher is only making about 55 a year, 55,000 a year. That's it. And that is with all the credentials. Like, and considering how much schooling costs out here, ridiculous. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. So it definitely depends on what you call it, what state you live in and stuff like that, and even like based on what state you live in, even narrowing it down more in like what town or city, um, so on and so forth. Like keep in mind, Connecticut, like well, I mean California, obviously, you guys are expensive out there too, but like Connecticut in terms of cost of living, like you need to make well into seven figures to live comfortably. I definitely don't. You know what I mean? Like to live comfortably in Connecticut, you need money. Remember, Greenwich, all that shit. Like, just do a quick little Google search and be like, how much does a house in Greenwich cost? And you'll be like, oh shit, you know? Exactly. Connecticut's not worth it. The pay is not good enough, but yet the cost of living is super high. So this is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Yeah, we wish we could make 100,000 as a teacher out here. Shit, ain't even making half of that in some cases. And then even like social workers and stuff like that, people with master's degrees and doctorate degrees. Can you believe that starting off, a lot of those jobs only are like 45 or something like that a year, 40, and that's now. Hey, special, what's up? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So another thing that comes back full fucking circle, huh? With this red flags card, it says, pay attention to red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So we talked about that earlier in the reading. Red flags, definitely a thing. Pay attention to them and free yourself. Free yourself from expectations. Free yourself from things that don't make sense. It's time to take back control of your life. Exactly. I think that's a great way to finish off this reading. Honestly, I think that's perfect. That last message made so much sense. And everything definitely came back as a well-rounded little package. You know what I mean? Um, so the big things that we got from this was the fact that a lot of us, some say us, have dealt with relationships in which we stayed in stuff way longer than we should have, out of things like codependency and stuff like that, because we saw outside validation, not realizing who we are, not recognizing our power and our worth. And as you start to realize, wow, I'm a lot more powerful than I think, that is what creates that upper trajectory to move forward and move into different areas of our lives, whether it's, in career and finance, love, whatever the case. We're talking about mostly love in this reading. So once you start to realize like who you are and your worth, letting go of those karmic relationships, understanding what they were there for, what purpose did they serve, That's when you start to see things for what it's really worth. And that's when you get to open up that door for new opportunities to come in. And there's going to be something that's going to happen for a lot of you guys who end up resonating with this reading. But it all comes down to free will, making sure that you allow for the positive energy to come in and let that negative energy flow out, you know. So once you recognize that and recognize your worth, you got some great stuff coming on for you. I actually don't owe anything, thank the good Lord, because I'm only an assistant teacher, thank God. But like, if I were like a, because I went to school for something totally different, and everything, I don't have to pay for anything. I had grants and stuff, but like I know people who have like their masters and everything, who they're still paying off their stuff, and they don't make, like, they could barely make ends meet. Let's put it like this: if you're not in like a two person household, like with two different incomes coming in, it's really hard to make ends meet. Very hard. Like the teacher I work under currently, as brilliant as she is and all of her education and everything, she struggles. She's also not married or anything. So like she struggles a lot. And even like my friends who are married, they struggle too. So I'm like, in terms of my teacher friends who actually do have a degree, like a master's or whatever. I only have an associate's. I just have like the experience and I got lucky with the position I have. But like, yeah, that, and like I've been there, for a minute now. But point being, telling you, it's crazy. So with all that said, my loves, I love you guys so very much, and I'm so grateful for you guys for tapping in for almost 2 hours. If you really think about it, didn't expect this to go that long, to be honest. But yeah, so I am going to eat some dinner because I'm starving. Maybe watch a show or something like that on Netflix or something. I don't know yet, but yeah. Until then, or until next time, I should say. Not sure about tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll try. But I have a few things to do throughout the week, so I can't make any promises yet. But, hit that notification bell if you're interested in something I might do later. So until next time, my loves, have a great, rest of your evening, and, take care of yourselves until the next time I tap in with you guys and all that good stuff. I love y'all. Have a great night. I could keep on just being so, gracious all night, just saying I love you guys so much, because I really do. All right, guys, have a great night.